My name's Chuck Stanzik. I'm the supervisor of Fullerton with the Department of Transportation. We came up with this guardrail shouldering device. We had a road that was about 18 miles long and we had a lot of rain and it washed the dirt from behind the guardrails. Originally they wanted us to dump the dirt in and hand shovel it all. So we built this thing to reach over the guardrails, and this basically just smoothed it out. And it just saves so much time. You can do a guardrail in a matter of minutes, which would have taken a day by hand. Yes, we have used it quite a bit since we built it. It's a lifesaver.
My name is Tony Semick. I'm with District 3 Electronics.
Hi, I'm Keith Raby with District 3 Electronics. Our innovation is the bouncing ball beacon safety cable. The beacon's cost is around $2,000. We need to know when it's worn out. There's a chance that it could hit a car and cause liability, not to mention destroying the beacon. We didn't know at what point we should check the brackets to see what wear they had from the wind bouncing it around. And this device lets us know when it is worn out. Once it drops on the safety cable, we know we need to do something immediately.
My name is Jim McDonald. I'm with the Department of Transportation in David City, District 1. My innovation I came up with is a blade changer. I made it out of some excess pieces that we had. You raise it up to the bottom of your blade, you pull the bolts out, you let the blade down, and then you take the blade out of the blade changer, you bring your new blade, slide it into the blade changer, jack it back up, put the bolts back in, and it makes it a lot easier. You don't have as much lifting work. A 6-foot maintainer blade probably weighs 120 pounds, maybe not quite that much, but they're awful heavy. This really makes it a lot easier and a lot safer.
I'm Scott Klinger with District 5. The innovation is Dirk, and it's a software package that was developed back in 2003, 2004. There was a problem with, I think, some signage at a project, and it wasn't followed up on, and so the director at the time, he directed the districts to track comments or questions from the public when they saw things and would report it to the districts. They wanted to make sure that those things were followed up on. Essentially, the system would keep an incident active and notify people every week so that things didn't fall through the cracks. And so now all 8 districts are using it, Central's using it.
Art Kiger, work at the Lexington office. We call it the rep block or the hopper. It's a device that we designed to put hot mix on the road for fixing holes in the road. It started with a simple idea that was in the back of a dump truck, and then it evolved into a device that we called the windrower that was attached to a truck. And then it evolved into the hopper that attaches to the front of a loader and allows us to do all of our work in one lane to keep everybody off of the lane like where your pilot car is operating. So it's very much a safety-based invention, keeping all of our workers on one side of the road, all the work. And so we're there, fill our hole, get our patchwork done, and we can move on, get off that road as fast as possible and safely as possible.
My name is Leonard Adricall, Humphrey, Nebraska Department of Transportation. It's a tow bar that when a truck goes down on the road, we can actually hook up to the truck so that we can tow it with another truck without any issues about being unsafe because we don't use a log chain. It's a rigid tow bar and it hooks onto any of our trucks if you take the plow off to tow it in safely. Safety innovation, and we can travel down the road easily, comfortably at 45, 50 miles an hour with it. It's going to be a big savings instead of a tow truck, because if you call a tow truck in our area, it's probably $500 or more just to bring it into our yard for us. And here it just takes 2 guys.
Hi, I'm Phil Tenholzen with the Roadway Design Division. I'm here to talk about the rumble strips and building 2 rumble strips at the same time. We've paid for those as separate quantities, one for each side, left and right of the center line. And we thought we could build them both at the same time, have a better product. We had to change the design. The original plan was to build an 8-inch rumble strip on each side of center line, 2 inches from the joint. We found that this was raveling towards the joint and ruining our highway joint as well. So we thought if we widened that out to 6 inches, 3 inches each side of the center line joint, we could build a narrower 5-inch rumble strip, milled rumble strip instead of the 8. We come up with this idea and it seemed to work out through researching it. And now we can build them and save a lot of money on building these. $70,000 a year is what we would have saved in 17 had we implemented this a year earlier.
My name's Sean Emerson. I'm from Ainsworth, District 8. I am maintenance supervisor. I was previously the lead mechanic in Ainsworth. 4 years ago, we designed the sander bearing plate due to high failure rate of the sander bearings. What the plate does is it basically just keeps the aggregate from wearing on the rubber seals and causing premature failure. Designed it just because it seemed like we were always going through sander bearings. The cost of the sander bearing isn't high, but when you consider the downtime, then it ends up being a high cost and a safety problem. The AMZ tailgate has an auger on it, and once a week we were replacing bearings on it. Since we put them in, we haven't replaced bearings in the last 4 years probably, so it's made a big difference. I think that they're roughly $1.50 a piece, so cost is very minimal compared to downtime and the cost of a bearing.
All right, for the 2018 Innovation of the Year, winning $500, it is the blade changer from District 1, Jim McDonald. Congratulations.
Jim, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well deserved.